my gosh. All right, real quick. Let me just run down some things about me. I'm 27 years old. I'm married to an amazing husband. I have a 1.5-year-old daughter. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, and I just wanted to get these kind of formalities out the way just in case you never came across my channel before, okay? And other things will come up about me throughout this video where maybe you can see yourself in me a little bit. I'm an entrepreneur, content creator, and yeah, so today's a really special day for me. Exactly 1 year ago today, June 10th, I posted my first video on this channel. Now, this is my second channel. First one failed. This one, I think it's prospering, if you ask me. And just to bring you to where my mentality was posting that video, because the aesthetics of that video is way different from what you're seeing right here, right now. I was in a by any means necessary state of mind because I had only been a mom for maybe 4 or 5 months, but I wanted to get back to this dream, this passion of building a successful YouTube channel, and I didn't care that I didn't have this lighting I have now, this specific camera, this microphone. Like I think I have this microphone, I did, but my point is shit wasn't perfect, you know? And I didn't let that stop me from doing the act of starting my channel. All right, so the first thing that I would say I've learned over these 12 months, this thing is really top of mind just because of some things I was watching today, things I've been going through recently on my channel, but the skill of being able to weather the storm when it comes to YouTube specifically. I've dabbled in other social media platforms, but this right here is really about when you make the leap to do YouTube. Right now, I know I'm not the only one. Views are down. And when views is down, if you're a monetized channel, your AdSense is down. And maybe you're even down on yourself, really second guessing and wondering what's going on. But I learned recently, like, there is ebbs and flows here on YouTube, and those that can weather the storm, get through these lower seasons, really end up thriving in the long run. This is a long game. I guess I'm going to add this aspect of this being, if you do YouTube, you're doing it for the long haul. I'm tacking it on to point number one of weathering the storm, because sometimes we could get short-sighted. I remember when I was in the beginning, oh, hold on. I just thought about something. Excuse me if I'm all over the place, but I started my channel about a year ago. I only was consistent for about a month and a half, and I took a long break. I came back to YouTube in November, and ever since November 2023, I've been consistent. Okay, I just want to get that out of there. But what I was saying is, I remember when I came back to, I guess, building my channel back in November, I was really stuck on the numbers. And when you're stuck on the numbers, to me, that's qualities of someone only being concerned with the short term. That's not someone who's like understanding, okay, if a video doesn't perform well, doesn't have a lot of views, that doesn't mean I will never be successful at this. This is just what's happening right now. This does not mean that will go on forever. So I don't want to be too long-winded on these points. I got 12 points to get through, and I don't even want to hold you here for a long time. But it's like, let's wrap this one up by saying you got to be in it for the long game. And I'm talking 3 to 5 to 10 years plus, okay? The second thing I feel like I've learned is YouTube is a wonderful place to, YouTube is a great tool to use if you're someone who really is trying to develop into this vision that you have of yourself that you aren't currently walking in today. And I say that because I really feel like becoming a YouTube content creator has pushed me to tap into that woman I've always wanted to be. If this is your first time seeing me, you may think this hair This hairstyle is my hairstyle. I just cut my hair yesterday. Any other videos you come across, you'll be like, whoa. For me, you may not have the same reaction. You don't even know me, but for those that may have been watching me, what is your reaction right now? Can we get into it? I cut my hair. Hold on. Oh, okay, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Yo, I had hair down here, waist length hair. And who knew I would evolve to this point? Like, no, I need to do the bob. So that's just one characteristic, one example of how I am inching, like visual, that's more apparent to you, how I'm inching closer and closer to that woman that I've always envisioned myself to be. I've grown internally so much being consistent on YouTube. Do not forget that word. Do not let it out of your mind. This is a place where you have to be consistent. So if anything, and the reason I've been able to use this as a tool to develop personally, or / personal development, however we want to put it, is because, again, I let go of the numbers aspect. Each video I post, I'm becoming the person that I want to be, not only here on YouTube, but in real life. Every thumbnail I make, every rep that I put into this channel is bringing me closer to that person, regardless of the views, regardless of the likes, regardless of the comments. All that number stuff is secondary, if not like coming in third place. There's so many other things that you can gain from starting a channel and being consistent and building it into something way beyond your imagination, because that's what ends up happening. And that leads me to the third point. Like, you can start YouTube, you can sit there, right? For those who haven't started or those that have started and stopped, like I've had, you can sit down and like try and plan things out and, oh, I'll be in this niche and these will be my first 10 videos, and you can make your plans, but let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, YouTube will give you a plan. And what I'm trying to say with that statement is that, like, you do not know where this journey is going to take you for real, but you have to be willing to ride. Like, you have to hold on until the wheels fall off, because where I'm at today, I could not see that I would be here like 12 months ago. But I'm grateful for where I'm at today in terms of my YouTube channel, where I'm taking things, what's in the next 12 months, where I'm going to be at in the future because of my point, like where I am right now. So you got to be willing to like let go of the control in some sense. You have to be willing to you have to be okay with your plans not panning out exactly as you envision, and still understand that you are going exactly where you need to go. And that's a lesson I've learned on entrepreneurship, but I'm definitely learning it here in regards to building this YouTube channel, which is a part of my particular entrepreneurship journey. But that's another story, right? So I hope you are clear on that takeaway. I think we're on number 4. This is all top of the dome, but I'm so passionate about this, I don't even need to write down bullet points. So number 4, I think, is like, what's coming to mind? This is not for the faint of heart. This is not for people who, I think it kind of piggybacks off of the whole being willing to ride this thing till the wheels fall off. Like, this is hard. Building a successful YouTube channel is not easy. And if you're looking for some quick money or a quick route to like some type of clout in the internet streets, or just stuff that's essentially superficial, or really, again, things that come in 3rd or 4th and 5th place on the scale of what matters, this is not for you. Like, you will be challenged physically. Do you know how many nights I stayed up crazy late? I told you I have a 1-year-old. I'm still staying up 2, 3 a.m. because I got to get a video up. I got to do research. I got to do this and that. Like, you will go through a period where you are challenged physically. You go through periods where you are challenged both physically and emotionally. You'll go through periods where you're challenged physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. And it ebbs and flows with where you are challenged at. But like, if you're someone who's just like, you quit easily at stuff, you need to think twice about either if this is for you, or the type of mentality you're going to go into YouTube or continue YouTube with, because you have to have a high frustration tolerance in order to do YouTube. And I have a video about that if you want to watch it. But yeah, it's not for weaklings out here. Number 5, I would say, is if you you can't let perfectionism stop. Like, perfectionism can't get in the way of progress. Perfectionism can't get in the way of progress. I dealt with perfectionism. I still do till this day, but way less than I did before. You know, if you're waiting for the background to be perfect, your fits to be perfect, your look to be perfect, for the ideas to be perfect, the way it comes out once you finally record it to be perfect, you will constantly be delaying your own progress. And that's when you have to really, let alone look at yourself in the camera, but look at yourself in the mirror and be like, okay, when am I going to get out of my own way at this point? You got to fail forward. I'm a big believer in fail forward here on YouTube. If record the video, do the whole process of recording, editing, creating a thumbnail, choosing songs, and get it up on the platform. Repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Because the quicker you do that and get that done, the faster you'll iron out the kinks, and the faster you'll get to that person you really want to show up being here on YouTube. Fail forward. Number 6 is, it's something I kind of spoke on recently about there being beauty in the struggle. And in that video, I spoke about it, and it had a combination to do with like, oh, my views aren't doing as well, and this and that isn't happening. But you have to embrace, I don't want this point to sound too similar to a point that I already made, but it's just like, just as you'll be very happy when you get a major bag off of YouTube, you have to still find that same joy when things aren't going exactly as you would like here on YouTube. You can't let things that are out of your control. Do you control the algorithm? Do you control who clicks on your video? In a sense, you do, but once you've done your best and you put it up, that's all you can do, you know? You have to learn how to maintain your peace throughout all of this, especially if you haven't even been consistent or done this for a year, or you're still, or maybe you have, but maybe you feel like you're still early in the game. If you're early in the game, don't let any aspect of building a YouTube channel steal your inner joy and your peace and just your perspective on how this is going, because there's beauty in the struggle. And I hope that one makes sense. Number 7, I would say, is early on, I was pressed, I was really pressed to get monetized. And I was monetized back in April of 2024. And though I appreciate the proactiveness or speed that I moved at with things, I wish I learned early on or practiced early on moving with intention, moving with urgency, but doing that in a way where it's like I'm not rushing. So it's weird, there's a fine balance. I was pressed to be monetized. I wanted to be making something, even if it was $1, $5 from this content that I was pouring myself into. So I was just moving. And when you're in that hurried and rush space, you're just, or I can only speak for myself, but I'm just kind of trying to warn you, move with the quickness, but I don't know, try and find that balance, because you don't want to be in that place of all I can describe it as some form of anxiousness, some form of anxiety. When you're pressed for something to happen, there's less of the natural of attracting it to you and letting it happen, Let me take a sip of water. And I want I just wish I was more in a place of like, let it all come to me. Just finding the balance. You find that balance that works for you in terms of the pace in which you move. I don't agree with, and I guess that could be my seventh point. Like, I'm a big believer in building in public. I didn't come up with that phrase. I don't know where I heard it from. But I believe in building in public, and that just means like I am figuring things out along the way here on my YouTube channel. And some of the things I'm figuring out, I literally will get on here and make videos thinking out loud. And I make those videos really trying my best to be unconcerned with the outcome in terms of who watches it or how many views that I get or the performance of it. And I do it because there's just something different between building in private and building in public. Like, some of those videos that I posted, I've gotten amazing feedback in the comments, and it's helped me. It's given me like direction for where to go on this journey. And if I just made a video and recorded to myself, or just simply just kept all those thoughts to myself, would I have gotten to where I'm trying to go as fast? You know, I guess I've kind of learned, like, you don't have to show up with the perfect content here on this platform. You can just get on here, do the best that you can, post what you can, and whoever interacts with it is who is supposed to interact with it, and use whatever feedback you get to help you move forward. I feel like in the beginning of my journey, like, I was dealing with perfectionism, like I've mentioned that I did, and I wouldn't want to put out anything that I felt I didn't think about for weeks on end or days on end or something like that. But again, back to that point, like, rinse and repeat, get the videos up, get them out. Roberto Blake is a great person on here for just content creators as a whole. And he told me, or I got from him, like, your first 100 videos are probably going to suck. So I was under the mentality, like, let's get those 100 videos done. And even now, I'm some number over 100. I don't think I'm at 150 yet. Somewhere in between there. I still don't think that what I'm posting now is my absolute best work. I just feel like the best is yet to come, you know? So, yeah, that's taking the pressure off, everything like that. Number 8, I would say, is something's coming up to me about connecting with other content creators. Over my journey, I have been able to have, whether the conversation was lengthy or it was just a few back and forth in the comment section, like, talking to other creators, having people in your life that's really on this journey of building a YouTube channel makes a difference. Matter of fact, like, I have to reach out to a fellow content creator on here this will probably be our 3rd month of us just taking some time to link with each other once a month and just talk about ideas we have going on, different things we dealt with and we felt throughout the month, and just content creator stuff. Like, we just do that. And it has helped me tremendously. Just an hour conversation, guys, with someone in it with you can do numbers for you. If you're familiar with Mr. Beast, that is essentially a part of his strategy for growth as well. He had a handful of friends, I don't know how many, but they were both obsessed with YouTube, and they did it together in a sense, you know? So I would say connect with somebody, because in my immediate surroundings, friends/family, no one, like, people are getting on it now, but like when I was starting or doing it, was in it, no one was really in it. So it's like, who can I relate with? Who can I get this off my chest to? You want to find somebody that you can connect with on a YouTube level. Number 9, I'm so thirsty. Hello? Okay, I thought my microphone went out. Number 9, I would say, I was super big on in the beginning celebrating the small wins. I have not really, this is like a win that I feel like I'm intentionally celebrating in a while, but like I celebrated 100 subscribers. I celebrated 200, 300 when we got to 500, 1,000. I celebrated these different milestones. If you're watching and you're past 1,000, whatever the next milestone for you is, like I celebrated those things. I got cake and blew out a candle. I did different stuff for myself because all of it matters. All of it leads up to different things. So you got to find moments to celebrate you, especially if you're being consistent and you're showing up. You can't let always, okay, so what if you don't have these crazy numbers or this crazy success yet? Don't wait until then to celebrate yourself. Please celebrate every little thing you can along the way. 10, I would say, doing YouTube for a year, I really have saw just how much, is it public speaking or just, you guys, I used to be terrified. Like I would turn on the camera and freeze up. And when I would start to talk, I'm like, this is not even how I talk. Like, this is weird. Like, talking to the camera, let's just call it that. Let's call it, because I think public speaking, like, I think that's probably a whole different ball game. I'm sure it's transferable, talking to a camera and talking to a crowd of people, but let's just talk about the skill of talking to the camera. Doing this for a year, like, oh my God, I have become way more comfortable, just feel like natural, just like talking to the camera way in the beginning. Like if you go on my channel, if you haven't like seen this content from me yet, I literally have the vlog where I posted like my first video on this channel. I documented it. I did like 10 or so vlogs in the beginning of this channel just so I can learn to talk to the camera, because that was step number one for me. Forget my background and all these other different things. I got to talk to the camera, because talking to the camera is talking to the other person on the side of that. And you need that. That's a skill. I mean, I don't, unless there's other scenarios on here on YouTube where you may not need this skill, but for the most of us, we need to know how to talk to the camera. So I guess I want to say on this point, it gets better. Like if you don't feel like your natural self and how you talk is coming out on the camera just yet, you gotta keep doing it. Do live streaming. Me live streaming for 30 days, I could really talk to this camera so natural, so easy. When I was done live streaming, went back to just recording videos like this, it felt a little bit weird. I felt nervous turning on the camera, and like I had to kind of get back in that flow and that swing. But now I just feel like I'm talking to this thing, like, so it gets better over time. I think we're on 10. If I've repeated a number, I'm sorry. But point number 10 that I will share, whatever number it is like, fear is real. Fear is real. Fear of like, something that's coming to mind is like, is everything I'm doing worth it? Is this all even worth it? The emotions, the stress, the learning curve, is it worth it? And for me, I don't know, even the levels up that you go with this, I don't know if that completely leaves out of the picture. I have not been further than where I'm at today, so I can't say, but thinking about myself at 300 subscribers and myself right now at 3,000, a little over 3,500 subscribers, is like, it comes back to visit you sometimes, but it's always, I'm grateful that I'm in a place where I'm so much better than, like, I don't feel like I let fear get the best of me as I did at some points in the beginning of my whole YouTube journey as a whole. Because even prior to starting this channel, like, I just couldn't get it right, So That's number 10 for you. And then 11, I would say, like, I put such an emphasis on editing back like in November, and like just really trying to grow the channel. When I came back in November after taking a break, somewhere in July of 2023, I was so like concerned with editing and just trying to like come across, or not even come across, but I thought editing and fancy stuff, for lack of better words, was something I should be pouring my time and energy into. These days, where I'm at with my whole YouTube thing is like just really focusing and honing in on crafting the message, and making sure that what I have to say comes out clearly and I'm connecting with people. And I put more of my time and energy on that than editing stuff, you know? And I've been a happier creator making that decision. So whatever it is for you, maybe you like editing, but maybe you don't love making thumbnails. I don't know. Insert what makes sense for you and your preferences. But like, I just want to say, what brings you stress as a creator, find a way to like make it as simple as possible, bare bones it down. And maybe it affects your growth, but the percentage that it may affect your growth is like minuscule to what you'll be able to do now, since you don't feel bogged down by this aspect of creating a YouTube video that just would bring you so much like stress and agony. You can just focus on the parts like where your genius shines. And I feel like for a lot of us, that's the editing with thumbnails. It's a skill that I feel like we do have, like you got to get people to click the video. But if you don't want to focus on that right now, that's cool. Just get the videos up. And I feel like the people will come. Yes, they may come slower because it's not clickable, but the people will still come. You got to adjust and do whatever you have to do to get the people, to get yourself to post consistently. That's what I think is important in the beginning stages of someone building a channel here on YouTube. And number 12, I would say is, let me take a sip of this water. A lot of creators, we've been through this before, what I'm about to talk about. But it's like, usually someone has inspired you to do YouTube. You know, you saw someone, you're like, I could do that. Or, you know, you love the way they create. And because you haven't really created yourself or created a lot or for a long time for yourself, it's easy to, and sometimes subconsciously, to make your content in this way of the people you look up to, the people you've been watching for a long time. And I think some people come on here and they're able to just have their uniqueness show up automatically. But you probably don't see it much on this channel. But oh Lord, these damn fruit flies. On my first channel, I had watched a whole bunch of vloggers, so my creating style was inspired by that. And it took me completely failing that and starting a whole new channel and really just, again, revving, posting for my own uniqueness to truly shine. You want to be unique on here. Like that, this is the message I feel to leave this video on. You want to set yourself apart. If you're watching me, if you've never came across me before and you would like to continue, let me just tell you a little bit about me. Like, I'm a big believer in building a business around your YouTube channel. I'm a big believer in like you're building a personal brand with your YouTube channel. I feel like this can go for many different niches, not just educational or teaching content like what I do. Like, I'm big on the brand building stuff. And there's competition out here, right? You gotta set yourself apart. Now, are you gonna be able to do that in the beginning? No, you may just be trying to like find your way. You may be just trying to find what does your content creator self on YouTube even look like. And that's a process that you have to go through that looks different for everybody else. But there comes a point on your YouTube journey where you're going to have to sit down at your computer or with your notebook or with something and make a strategy for how you will set yourself apart from everybody else within your niche. It's not about setting yourself apart from everybody on YouTube. You have to understand there's different buckets and pockets of YouTube. You fall into a pocket whether you like it or not. How are you going to set yourself apart from those people? What is going to be the visual communication when you pull up on camera? You worked out the kinks. Now it's time to get serious. This is a business at the end of the day. You don't need to only rely on brand deals. You don't need to only rely on AdSense. Like, you could really build yourself something and pass it on for generations if you really take it seriously. And that's always going to be my ministry, at least for this season of my channel. So it's like, I only got 2 minutes on my SD card. Figure out how to set yourself apart. Be unique, stand out, be influenced, be inspired, but tap into who you are and things are going to change. That's the point where I feel like I'm at in my journey. I've always feel like in this channel, you can tell what I'm about, this and that, but it's about to get even more on a serious level where it's like, oh, Nala is different. She's different from Think Media. She's different from Aaron On Demand. She's different from Annette Salau. I'm letting you know, my competitor, straight out. I'm different. I give you content creator tips. I give you the YouTube tips, but I do it in this specific way. I never knew how to say that word. And you can come to me for this particular thing when it comes to building in this creator economy. So that's it. I don't really have a lot of time on here. I know this video might have been a bit long, but I don't even care. If you stayed till the end, thank you. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for being here whenever you came across this journey. And let's continue to build and grow. And that's it. Cheers to 12 months on here. And I'm not good at math, but however many months since November that I've been consistent. Never missed a week on this thing. Cheers. Until next time. Bye-bye.